All right, all right, all right. Well, here we are in our final episode of Before I Say I Do.
Woo!
And the wedding has occurred. So
Woo!
we have
Good
gone
times.
through successfully 3, 4 episodes of talking about all the things that pop into black men's heads
Man,
before they walk down the aisle, before they say I do. Here we are. This is the culminating event because I do has been said
mm,
and yeses have been made and vows have been
man,
given
show him,
and
man, show him,
time has been
yeah.
given.
You need to
It's
show him
like
that moment
bam,
too.
I
Man.
got
Show him that thing.
I got I
The
got
whole thing, bruh. Show
I
him.
gotta put
Don't
it.
even
I had to take it
show
off
him.
because I had to put. I got it
Yeah.
on this finger right now
Ah,
because
look at that.
basically, you know what
Look
I'm
at
saying. I
that.
got it on.
Ah.
It wouldn't fit on this finger, so I had to put it on the middle finger. So you know, I still got some work to do to get it all tight
Woo.
and right. But we made
Man,
it, man. And so today we're
man,
gonna
that
talk
thing look
about
nice.
the final wedding episode of the wedding and everything that we went through. So sit tight, hold on. It's gonna be a good ride. See you in a second.
Welcome one and all to another edition of the 4050 Social Club. We're a virtual forum that focuses on black men and on helpful and healthy ways for us to transition successfully from our 40s into our 50s and beyond. We aim to do this by presenting about a wide variety of topics from health, wealth, and spirituality, to relationships, to our professional lives and continuing aspirations, to quite simply and honestly just being a great human. As I've shared on several occasions, I wish there had been platforms like 4050 around when I was approaching and beginning to evolve into and through this particular life period. So we hope that you'll engage with us on this podcast as we add to the growing movement to support and to honor black men. Jamion, our eagle-eyed visionary, Quest, our resident helper, and myself, CJ the Seeker, are excited to be here with you today for another injection of the 4050 Social Club. Let's get it.
I'm up here like, you know, on a high, of course. You know, literally the wedding was less than 48 hours ago.
Mm.
It seemed like it was, you know, yesterday, to be honest. But
It
you
really
all
was
had
almost yesterday.
It really
Yeah.
felt like it was
Damn near
almost
was.
yesterday,
It
man.
was pretty much almost a couple of days ago.
Man,
Jay, we
Yeah.
gonna let you be the person that's gonna answer these questions because listen,
Okay.
we
got
there
one.
is a lot that we need to talk about
Yeah.
right now. I'm telling you, there's a lot that we need to talk about. And I think me
Okay.
and Chris got some questions for you.
Yeah, we
So
do.
I hope you ready.
Let's
You
do
ready?
it. Let's go. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm ready. Let's go.
listen.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Number one, because I wasn't at the wedding rehearsal.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
now, when y'all came out with them snaps,
Uh-huh.
did y'all practice that at the wedding rehearsal?
So, well, okay, so I need to answer this one then, because Jay was in his own world. Like he
Okay.
had to worry about some other stuff. So the wedding coordinator, she was making sure all this other stuff was happening, and she had the women lining up first, the bride's loves, they called them. Had them lining up first, or actually it was like after her parents and such. So it was them, and then they had the guys coming in. So when we did the rehearsal, the women went up first. They kind of like did their thing. And Stanton, who was at the head of it, I know you got a Stanton story that you're gonna tell a little bit later, but he is all the way live, right? So
Yeah.
you could tell he had this need to do something a little bit extra. You know, he didn't know what it was gonna be, but he was watching the ladies go, and he keeps turning around to us like, man, we gotta do something. We gotta do something. We all didn't know each other yet, so we're like, okay, you know, let's just see how this is gonna be. So we made it down. At first, he had us add the little step because that wasn't gonna be a part of things at first, and so he wanted to get us to add that. By the time we showed up the next day, though, there were all these texts coming through. He was like, all right, I think we need to do a snap. You know, that's just going to help us keep the rhythm, all that. It went from the snap to like you snap, but then you literally snap your head from one side to the next. Like with each one, you got to snap.
And I was the one, I was like, all right, I don't know how old everybody else is here, but I might snap to a side and not be able to come back,
And
you
not be
know?
able to come back.
Yeah, yeah. So my snap to the side ain't gonna be too hard. It's gonna have to be a little smoother, like getting out that way, because I don't know if I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be looking like Fred Sanford all locked up. But he was the guy. Like Stanton was the guy that got us all going. And he got us there too. Like I don't know if all the guys were comfortable with doing it, but you couldn't
Mhm.
help but do it when he was asking you to do it. He just had a way, a
Yeah,
persuasive
yeah,
way of
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
doing
yeah,
it
yeah.
that made us all get in the
Yeah.
moment and want to just go ahead and do it, man. It was
That's
fun.
real
Nice.
good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
Man,
yeah.
man, that was a special moment. Look, from the audience looking at that, I said, "Oh, they about to hit real quick. Watch them, watch them." I was, I was.
He would have had us doing more. He probably would have had us doing more
Oh,
had he
I'm
been
Yeah,
sure.
alive.
I'm
yeah,
sure he would
sure,
have.
Yeah, so it
sure,
was like
I'm
sure.
sure
we
he
gotta
would
relax a
have.
little. We gotta relax a little bit.
Jay,
Nah,
I
but it
got
was
one more
cool,
question
man. It
for
was
you,
cool.
man. I got one more question for you, and I'm gonna let Chris in on a couple questions.
Mm,
When you saw her
mm.
standing
Mm,
at the forefront,
yeah.
what was going through your mind right there?
You know, it's been this whole uh curiosity about what does the dress look like. If you could
Mm-hmm.
imagine, for months and months and months, I couldn't see this dress, but I kept hearing about it, kept hearing about it. You know, it was like the warm up, the build up to seeing her in this dress and this whole unveiling of it, man. And I was just like, wow. You
Mm,
know, I
Mm-hmm.
was just,
Mm-hmm.
taken back, man. And of course it just, I was like, man. And I think that's when the the nervous factor started
mm,
kicking in, like, oh boy, here we
mm,
go.
mm,
We
Mm-hmm.
finally have made it to this moment. But I was just like, man, she looks so beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, wow,
Yeah, yeah.
I felt so honored and just appreciative of waiting, you know,
yeah,
I know
yeah.
that's
and
right.
not really being able to see it, but to hear about it and then to finally see it. And I was like, go ahead, girl. Like, yeah, let's do this,
Yes, yes,
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
that
Yeah,
was
she was
cool, man.
beautiful, man. She was
Oh my
beautiful
gosh,
when
Yeah.
she came
amazing.
out. And you know what? I love that touch that y'all put in there with allowing the different people in her life to
Mm-hmm.
to walk
That
her
was nice.
down the aisle.
Yeah.
That was impressive. I really enjoyed the song selections that y'all
Yes.
had for the processionals too. I felt
Yeah.
like you all wanted us to hear your love soundtrack in some
Mm,
ways, and that was just an amazing touch as well, bro. So I kudos
Thanks,
to that.
man.
Those were a couple of questions I want to ask. I definitely want Chris got some more, but I got some more for you.
That's what's
Trust me,
up.
I got some
That's
more
what's up.
for you. We got some, but
yeah,
That's what's
Chris,
yeah.
up.
come on, man. Cause
I
I
love
know,
it.
I know you got a chance to see it from a different standpoint. So I'm gonna ask you a question, then you can transition into that.
Gotcha.
So you're walking down the aisle and you're seeing all these people. Some of them you probably saw at the at the night before, but I'm sure there was some people that you saw that you hadn't seen in a long time.
Oh yeah.
How many people were there that you had not seen in multiple years?
Like asking me how many?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, that's a really good question. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
just gonna say instantly probably 10 to 15. That I hadn't
Okay.
seen in a long time, like a really, really long time. And again, it's just nice to get that opportunity.
Yeah.
And that was the thing with like snapping ahead because you're looking from one side to the next, and everywhere I look, every time I look, I met eyes with somebody like, hey, so then you're giving them. And I don't think I was supposed to do that, but that was just part of it. And it was just such
Yeah.
a neat moment. It was just like nothing but love in there, man. Like love and respect and all that. And I'm gonna take it back a day before at least. And we could even go back further than that, but I'm gonna go back the day before with the rehearsal and then the rehearsal dinner. And so at the rehearsal
Mhm.
and rehearsal dinner, like anybody who was there had to have some shade of blue, had to have some blue in them to some degree. And I had never met Sheeta before that day, like before Saturday. And so I walk in into the Cultural Arts
Wow.
Center. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're giving each other a big hug. Like we know each other, even though we had never met each other. And from that moment on, I was like, oh, I understand now this artsy
Mm.
piece of this. And I don't know how it's going to come out yet, but I see that this is what is behind all of that. So the wearing the blue, and Jay, I'll let you get into the whys behind everything, but the wearing the blue or then wearing the all black,
Mhm.
the next day, and she had talked about like Black Uninterrupted and just these ways that I just thought were like really magical. But anyway, one of the things that they did at the rehearsal, after the rehearsal dinner, Jay had made this video and Sheeta
Mm.
hadn't even seen it yet. And she told us what the two of them are sitting on stage and
No.
he's got this video queued up. And it was the 4 years of their relationship so far. So they did this thing, and again, Jake put this whole thing together. So it started like August
Wow.
of 2021, and so the two of them are facing the screen, and we're all facing, and it would, let videos and pictures play for 5 minutes or so, and then they would pause it when it would come up like August 2022. The two of them would turn around and face the audience, and each would take the mic and say a few things, and again, it was just such a beautiful touch
I
to
love it.
everybody, and to really allowing everyone to feel like they could partake in what the story was, like his
Yeah.
side, Jay's side knew him. Sheeta's side knew her. Some of them who are around them all the time, they're in Chicago, know them both.
You both.
But for those who only knew one side, we were really able to see the full picture in a way that just, and not that it didn't make sense before, but it just made it make perfect sense at that
Made
point. Like,
perfect
wow, you
sense
see
now.
them come
Yeah.
Mhm.
together. And what that
Yeah.
did for me, even moving into the next day and watching the way that everything played out, just all
Mhm.
the touches, the singing bowls and that long woodwind that the person had was playing as the different things were
Yes, yes,
happening. It was
yes.
so much going on. What I loved about it though was that you had these two people at this age, this 40, 50 age, right, where we are, who we're talking to, these two people, one who's been married a couple times, one, the bachelor, who had never been married before. This is a big decision to decide to come together at this point in their
Oh,
lives.
yeah.
And it was
Oh,
so
yeah.
different than like when Janine and I got married. Man, we were young pups. We thought we understood love and all that. And we
Mhm.
did to the degree that we could in our 20s. But to see
Right.
these folks at the stage that they were, that Sheeta and Jay were to do this, like I could so appreciate the decision
Yeah.
that they were making to
Yeah.
form this unit. And it
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
so on display for everybody to see, man, in the most
Yeah.
magical ways that
Mm.
work. So the question I was gonna ask, so as I went on my little
Woo!
soliloquy there,
That's
there were
good.
two moments. So one
Mhm.
on Sunday before the wedding, and this is
Mhm.
it's so wild the way this works out. So one of Jay's guys, one of our friends, Shane, happens to live next door to Sheeta's best friend Willow. And
Okay.
so the two of them, so Jay and Sheeta were getting dressed. They were getting like ready in the separate houses, but literally right next door to each other. And they had this camera crew, film crew, videographer, photographer who was going between both sites, like taking pictures and videos. So again, there's this part of you getting into this whole experience, like, wow, this is something else. And so then we left after a couple hours being there. And I'll say I was also amazed that when I showed up on Sunday, Jay is the person who met me at the door, welcomed me in. I didn't know what he was going to be like. I'm like, man, how you feeling? He was as
Mhm.
cool as a cucumber. Like it didn't, and he said he was nervous, but none of that showed in his
Yeah.
countenance. I was like, man, he is all right. And he was just in such a space. So then we left. When it was time to go over to the venue, we left. And so Jay and I went in one car, Shane and Smalls went in another car. And I just asked her, I was like, man, how you feeling? And at that point, I could see it was starting to feel,
Started feeling like, whoa.
mm,
I feel like in that car ride home, I felt like I had so many mixed emotions though, so I don't even remember exactly what I told you, but I feel
uh,
like I was like, man, I'm excited, but I'm also nervous
yep,
at the
that's
same
exactly,
time,
yeah,
And I think the perfectionist in me was more so nervous that I wanted everything to go a certain way. Like I wanted everything to go just well, and you hear about all these different horror stories of people's weddings and things just, don't go well. And I was so happy with how the weekend was progressing. And I was like, this is the culmination. And so
mm,
I was nervous because I knew it had so many moving parts, right? Like you just talked
Mhm.
about
yeah,
five of them, and there's like
yeah,
10
Yeah.
more,
yeah,
So I'm up here like, okay, we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that. And I'm a part of dang near most of them.
yeah.
So I
Mhm.
think that's why the nervous and the excitement was just hitting me all at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that was the first time where on that car ride, because we were talking about
Yeah.
some things, and he was giving me directions, helping me navigate the west side. I know the south side. So he was helping me to get there and avoid what Waze was having us do. And then all of a sudden he got quiet. And I was like, oh, all right,
Mhm.
it's something
Mhm.
starting to kick in. And so that's when I asked the question. What he
Mhm.
just talked about is exactly what you shared with me in that
Yeah.
moment. But I could definitely tell that that was the point where it was like, all right, I'm really about to do this. Because remember, then we pulled up
Mhm.
and it was kinda like, "Well, what do I do now? Do I go in? Do I let people see me? Do I not? Like you could just see all the
Yeah,
wheels starting to turn. Like it was really starting to hit. The details
yeah,
aside, at this point, it's time to do the damn thing. And
yeah,
he was there.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. That's
Man,
spot on.
Wow.
man.
That's spot
So
on.
you're standing there, you're looking at her, she's there. I mean, what are you thinking?
Man, again, it was just like we're here. We've come so far. I couldn't do nothing but smile
Mm.
to think about the words that were being said as we were walking through the ceremony and just listening,
Mm.
and to the whole ancestral piece and inviting our grandparents into the ceremony
And
and
they
just
Mhm.
showed
being
up.
able to experience
And they
that with
showed
them.
Mhm.
up.
Yeah, that's
And they showed
interesting. You
up.
said that. Yeah, and I think that was probably one of the most profound parts of the ceremony. So you said, "What am
Mhm.
I thinking about?" Of course, we couldn't help but think about our grandparents and wishing they were there.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, man, this breeze just came through. It was
Mm.
so
Yeah.
profound.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think when we saw that and we felt that, and we couldn't even light the candles.
Wow.
The breeze was
Mm.
so heavy. And before
Yes,
that, it
yes.
was pretty much just chill. Like it was
Yeah.
quiet. And so I was just like, whoa.
Mm.
Like there's no point in us even trying to fight to light these candles because
Yeah.
they gonna blow them
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Those
That's right.
they were not going to light,
Right.
They were
Right.
not going to light
like at all.
at
Yeah.
all.
And that
At
was okay.
all. Yeah.
That
And
was
But
so
the
I
okay.
think,
meaning, the
yeah.
meaning, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think that was cool. Like, the whole progression up to that point with the sound bath and, the
Mhm.
invitation, it was
Mhm.
almost like we had opened this portal to say, come and be present with us. And
Mm.
they were right there. And we were talking about it later on. We were like, I wonder what they had on, like, but we could just feel their presence in the space, man. And
You know
so
they were wearing
Yeah.
black. You know they were
you
wearing
know
Come
they
black.
were
on.
wearing black. Yeah, for
Come on
sure,
now.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So it was just, all those pieces, man. And then of course, when it was time to say our vows and
Mm.
thinking about the time that we had spent to go and write our vows in our books together, and it had reached a point where I had so many things in there,
Mm.
but I
Mm.
was just like, I just wanted to speak from my heart, and it was awesome just to share those moments, man. So it was just phenomenal,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
I couldn't help but just think about when it was actually time to put the reins on, and that's when things got really real for me. And
Okay. Cause
so
cause
yeah.
Chris had a question for you. He's about to ask you this question
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
So
go
you
For
go
ahead.
ahead.
sure.
You go ahead because you might answer this question without us even having to ask it. So go for it.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, we're gonna let you answer. So essentially, and I'll speak about it from my vantage point. So we're standing up there, and I can't see your face, right? Like your back is to me,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
because how tall you are,
Yeah.
Wes, because how tall you are, like I could kind of see Sheeta, but barely. And so when it
Yeah.
was time to put that ring on, things, there was this hesitation there. It seemed like it was probably like 5 to 10 seconds. It felt like
It
a minute and a
it
half, and I
definitely
know it
was
wasn't
like,
that
yeah.
long.
It
And we're like, well, what's
it
going on? We
definitely
knew
felt like
something had to
that.
be happening. So Terry, who
Woo!
was standing the closest to you, Terry was like, he looked, he said he could see the hands shivering a little bit. And he was ready. He was like, in case his brother faints, like I'm ready to scoop him up if I gotta do it, or prop him up or do what I gotta do. So anyway, so of course I wanted to ask you later, like
Yeah.
what was going through your mind? So give us an idea. And then Quest, you can talk about what you saw.
I'm like I saw exactly almost what you saw. It was a
Wow.
face of huh? And then it was a face. It was like and then it was like pause and like
Yeah.
I get a hit on the elbow and I look and I turn and I look at Filet and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she said, he'll be okay. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said, yeah, he gonna be all right. And that's
Yeah.
when you kind of like
Yeah.
came on back. You know,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
oh,
Yeah.
I hope he don't fall out.
well, yeah, and I'm gonna throw this in because I want to hear Jay. We obviously want to hear what you got to say. I'm gonna throw this in though, real quick, just to wrap a bow on that
Oh
piece of it,
man.
because my angle I can kind of see Sheeta a little bit, and she was looking at you. I don't even know if you were aware in the moment, but she was like, "It's okay." Like she understood what you were going
Yeah.
through.
Yes,
She's like, "It's okay." She wasn't
yes.
upset.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can't believe he just paused." And she was just like, "I'm here with you. Like, we got this. We
Yeah.
got this together. It's okay.
Yeah.
Take your time." All right.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
stated. Go ahead. You take the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So I at that moment, is the build up, and I
Mhm.
kept saying like, I'm not gonna cry, man.
Wow.
I'm not gonna cry. And so that pause was me trying to suppress it. Like, come on,
Yeah.
Jay. Like, it's gonna be all right, man. Like, just, but something about putting her ring on the finger, it just hit me a lot differently. Like, this is real, real.
Mm. Mm.
And
Mhm.
and I was trying to suppress those emotions and I couldn't.
Yeah.
And so finally I just was snot coming out my nose and I'm crying
Lord,
and
Lord
you
have
know what I
mercy.
mean? And I'm just like,
Lord.
whatever, man, and
Yeah.
I heard Terry be like, man, let it go. Like whatever you trying to, so that was the pause and that was the transition. And I was just like, screw it, man. And it seemed like the more I was trying to hold it back, the more snot was coming out my nose. So it was
God.
just like, so it's just
Let me
like,
hit you with this saline.
you know. So I'm just like, man. So it was good though. It was
Wow.
good. It felt good.
Mhm.
I need
Um,
them to play back that moment when you get this video. I need to see
Yeah.
that moment
yeah,
back.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
definitely.
it
And
it,
I
wa- it
want to
was
let you
good.
know you had came in there and something was happening and Sheeta was looking at you. This was right at the beginning.
Mm.
Yeah,
And you was looking real stern and Sheeta was just looking at you and she was looking at you like, sir, we are
so
here
we
and
are
it is
here.
our day. I don't know what you worried about,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah,
here. And she was just looking at you just like that. And
Wow.
yeah,
I was like, what is this Negro thinking about right now?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, cause there, like I said, we had so many things that I was just like, I wanted everything to be spot on, and
Hmm.
there's so many things people don't know
Mm.
about
Yeah.
details and different dynamics that were
Yes.
happening up until that moment. So, we were working on making sure that we were mic'd up properly so
Mm.
that people could hear us, and
Mm.
so. I was spending time running to Guitar Center to make sure that we had the right live mics that hooked
Wow.
up to the speakers that we had. And
Wow.
this all was the day before. And I'm up here like, okay, the speakers work and all the stuff working. So to hear that reverb and the frequencies all
Oh yeah.
popping off, I was like, oh no, like what's
Yeah.
happening? Because
Yeah.
we wanted to make sure that everybody could hear us because we
Right.
wanted to share it with everybody. It was over 200 people there. So we
Yes.
didn't want it to be where you all couldn't hear. And so I was kind of like, dang, like I didn't want that to be something that you all couldn't experience. So when it all calmed down, I was like, cool. And
Mm.
she clearly was like, babe, it's okay. Like we here now. If we
Right.
gotta, if
Yeah.
we gotta, if we gotta, if we gotta scream or talk louder, it's all good. But
Yeah.
again, I'm up here like I wanted to be a certain way,
Yeah.
so but I think that was the different uh pieces of who we are as a couple. It's like when one person is kind of like freaking out, the other person
Yep.
is like, it's gonna be cool,
Yeah.
and so I think we share that baton in different times, in different scenarios.
Mm.
And so she was clearly the one that was like, it's all good,
Yeah.
and as the ceremony and the reception went on, I gained more confidence in that. Like,
Mm.
we just
Mm.
gonna walk in this and it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that
Hey,
was
Man.
that included seeing you get up there and sing. I never heard you sing
Come
before.
on.
yeah,
Oh
Come
yeah.
yeah,
on.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah,
man, that was
yeah,
so good.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Thanks, man. No, that was that was something too that Sheeta had asked, and a lot of my cats and people in the room that grew up with me, I used to sing all the time, and
Wow.
like my father, my biological father, James, that was there, had a beautiful voice. He was, man,
Mm.
he used to throw panties on the stage type voice,
Yeah.
and I'm in real talk. Like this is real, and so Like, I definitely got some of that from him,
Mm.
and so it meant something, and she that came to me, like, about a month before the wedding was like, "Babe, I think we should sing something."
Wow.
And I'm just like, I ain't sang in years, outside of the shower, just around the house, around people real close,
That's
and
where she
so
heard you.
yeah, and so we went and hooked up with, the pianist that was there, and we started doing singing lessons, and we was like,
Wow.
"Let's practice," and I was like, "Let's do it," and I
Wow.
think it was an awesome touch because it shared a piece of my biological father that I inherited, so I
Mm.
was able to share that with him because he never heard me sing. And so
Mm.
Mm.
it just hit in a lot of different areas. And then of course I used to sing all the way up into college, and my boys used to shame me and make fun of me because when I was singing and things like that. So I didn't sing for years
Yeah.
because I was
Wow.
like, you know what, whatever. And so I know it was a big surprise for a lot of folks to hear us do that together. And
Yeah,
and
that
and I
was awesome.
love how it turned out. Yeah.
Man, so good, so good.
Yeah.
Bro, I want to, just step right here and say that there were so many people coming up to us about this 4050 podcast.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I just don't know if there was anybody that didn't know that that we were on
Mm.
podcast. Like,
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the young lady's name, but that was the first thing she said. She said my name, and I'm like, lady, I don't know you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
she said, Quest, and I said, yep. She said, 4050 podcast. I said,
Mhm.
sure enough. I
Yeah.
said,
Mm.
thanks for watching. She was like, oh, it's so good. I was like, man, that is so good to just
Mhm.
know that,
Yeah.
know that people were watching us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
say that too.
Yeah.
It was because again, having been around a couple more days of it, especially when we got to the rehearsal. And again, there were Sheeta's people were there. I had never met any of them. And just
Yeah.
in introducing myself to some folks. And the one that got me first was your now father-in-law, Ricky.
Mhm.
Because it's
Mhm.
he and your mother-in-law, they were coming in or whatever. And so he then came back where all the groomsmen and the brides loves were, and he was introducing himself.
Mhm.
And so when he got up to where I was like, hey, CJ, he was like, oh, I know who you are. I was like, really? And
Mhm.
it clicked. I was like, oh, I guess
Wow.
because of the podcast, he's gonna know. And so he
Yeah.
was all these other people there, and he's talking to me about it there. He's like, what's the next topic gonna be, the next episode? Like, I'm really into this. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is pretty
Mhm.
wild. And then
Mhm.
when we were practicing and going down the aisle, I happened to make eyes with your mother-in-law and was just sort of looking at her, and she just looked at me, and you can see she's like, "Oh, like I know you." So it just
Mhm.
Yep.
it but it again, it was weird in a really cool way. Like, wow, these folks are really into it, and people were talking to us, not just to say we supported, but actually talking about
Right.
episodes. Like, I loved when he
Yes.
talked about this particular thing, and this struck me. And we had plenty of people. So a couple nights before the wedding, we went to a cigar bar, and one of our
Mhm.
Kenyan guys that's in Brothers United BU, Ladarius, we were in one of the rooms just having a cigar
Yeah.
talking. And he was like, "Where's Quest right now?" I was like, "Oh, he's
Yeah.
doing his thing. We're gonna see him." And he was like, "I was hoping that he would be here too because I really want to talk to the three of you all and tell you about how much the show means to me." And so he
Wow.
started talking about the episodes about dads, like being a
Mm.
dad, what it was like for him growing up, relationship with his father, relationship with kids, just all these things he was talking about. And he really wanted to be able to
Mm.
talk to the three of us at once. And I think he grabbed each of
Mm.
us individually. So
He
like
did.
that
He
was one.
did.
You had James and the
Mhm.
way he must have had 3, 4, 5 different conversations with me. Every single time was like bringing it up and how enthused he was about it. And one point he was like, I know this isn't made for my crowd. He's older than we are. We're talking 40, 50s, 40, 50s, but we're for everybody, whoever wants to be a part of it. And he was saying, even though that's not necessarily for me in the same way, it's not targeted toward me, it speaks to an experience I have. It speaks to how I'm proud
Mhm.
that your generation is picking up that mantle and doing some things that we didn't do. Heck, it makes me want to, get something together for my age group to do the same thing. So like that was cool.
Yeah.
Your mother-in-law was talking to me the same way. Like it's not geared to me, but it makes me want to do. And
Yeah.
then I'm trying to think, Willow. So she his best friend, Willow. She
Mm.
grabbed me a couple times to talk about it, but the last one, man, it was such a like I was just such in a state of appreciation. hearing what she was saying to me about it. And one of the things that really stood out, she was praising us for being as vulnerable and open as we can. She's like, I
Mhm.
would love to see more black men, especially in your age group, doing this sort of thing. But then she said, again, even though this isn't geared toward me, I tune in, I watch every episode, and I do it in part
That's
because
real.
as a single black woman, I'm trying to understand how y'all think. How do you think? How do you
Mhm.
process? And she said, I'm learning stuff by watching this because the average black guy is not sharing all of this. So she's like, I'm getting an
Right.
inlet into the psyche, into the mind of black men in this age range by watching. I was like, man, this is just, it was cool. Like, it was
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And it feels like a daunting task because some of that conversation was like, wow, like, when these, numbers start racking up and stuff like that, these
Mm,
people are really counting on us to, in some ways, give, in not just opinions, but advice. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I looked at that also, Ladarius. He came up to me and it was
He
just,
found
he
you.
was speaking all of that you were saying and more. And that's, even now, as I think about it, just us being impressionable and imprinting on other people
Yeah.
that we don't even know is going to happen.
Yeah.
And,
Mhm.
I think that that is a good sense of responsibility that I want to have. And I think it's also a good sense of responsibility that we should own, right? Like
Mm,
Yeah.
we came on this, we
Yeah.
came
mm,
on this show to give people an opportunity to tell us also what they want to hear and
yes. Yeah.
how they are going through things so we can bring those stories back here and
Hmm.
share it with everybody else. So I'm excited about that too, and about the fact that people are willing and wanting to give us their stories and wanting to give us their
Yeah.
feedback about stuff. So that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think a couple things that resonated with me on top of the things that you all shared is that we are approaching, I believe, a point in time where it'd be great to bring guests into the 4050 to talk about some of these topics that bring some of these different perspectives and they
Hmm.
can actually become a part of this journey, which I think is something that we've talked about for a long time. And we said we wanted to make sure that we had a good foundation before we started inviting people into the space.
Yeah.
But it's so awesome this past weekend that we were all getting hit in multiple ways by
Hmm.
saying, like, hey, have y'all thought about this? What you think about this?
Yeah.
And we're sitting here like, whoa. And we're like, hey, why don't you come through? And that's
Yeah.
what's up, And
Yeah.
it's like people are really inspired and motivated to share in that way. And it also made me think about how vulnerable black men can be at maybe two or three different phases in life.
Mm,
One is, I believe, when we're born,
mm,
we're very vulnerable. We come out the womb crying and things of that nature, and we're just so vulnerable and supple. But I also think about how vulnerable we are at weddings,
ooh,
and how
yeah.
we're able to express ourselves in ways that we typically wouldn't. And I think about some of my boys that came up to me and they shared things with me in such a vulnerable way. Like weddings can really be a recharge for people that are
Mhm.
married or in a relationship. And a few of them were like, "Man, I've never seen you this happy." And there's some things that I'm learning from this experience this weekend that I too want in my relationship.
Yeah. Wow.
And I
Wow.
was just like, wow, and it
Wow.
made me think about that. And I also think about the third time, the third piece when men are the most vulnerable is at death, when somebody
Mm,
dies at a funeral or something like that, where people are like, wow, I wish I was able to spend more time. So it just
mhm.
made me think about those three different phases in life when men are probably the most vulnerable.
Wow.
And I think what we're trying to do is to make sure that that vulnerability extends past just those three opportunities.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Wow, that's
know,
such a good point.
Yeah.
I got a couple more for you, Jay. I
Mhm.
think
Okay.
we can run a couple here.
Sure.
I wanna really ask you some kind of like speed questions. Maybe you can,
Yeah.
go through them as you see fit. But I'm gonna ask right now. All right. So number one, what was your favorite moment of the wedding?
Phew.
That's
There
tough.
That's a tough one, man.
Mhm,
There are a
mhm,
lot of great moments you gotta choose
There's
from.
a
Wow.
lot of
mhm,
great moments. The
mhm,
the whole weekend to me
mhm,
was the wedding.
mhm. But
I
give me one, even if it
I
wasn't
give
the favorite, just give me one.
jeez. I mean, of course, the ceremony itself was
Mhm,
dope. It was amazing. Um, I think one of the dopest moments, man, is being able to have the first dance with Rashida, and then also how we were able to share time and space with our mothers and our fathers,
mhm.
and then also with Olivia, which kind of brought it all full
Mm.
Yes,
circle
yes,
in
Yeah.
terms
yes,
of we are a family.
yeah,
That was
Yeah.
a very special moment for me,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I remember dancing with Livy, and that was the first time we ever danced together. And she was
Oh,
like,
wow.
you could dance, Jameson, you could dance, you know." And I'm like, I'm like, "You ain't no girl," you know. And it was like, it was just a cool, special moment in time, and a memory that I thought was really special. So,
Wow.
you
Jay,
know, but there's probably 10 more on top of that one, but that
Sure.
one was signature for sure.
Jay, were you gonna cry when she was saying that speech? Were you gonna cry then?
Nah. Oh man, that speech was, you know, we talked
Man.
about that. We talked about that speech. Me and Sheeta talked about that speech a few times,
Mm.
Mhm,
and just was blown away by it.
Right.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
and the fact it was, I was so blown away. You know, a couple people came up to me after she said what she said, and they
mhm.
were like, "Bro, like keep going." You
Yeah,
Mm.
know, like to have it be shared in that way, and it was so profound and prophetic, and it was also just from the heart. They were like, "Keep going," you know. And
mhm,
so I was
yeah,
just like, man, you just never know the impact that you're going to have on younger people.
Yeah.
And so it just really made me feel good about where we're at, you know. and
that's what's up.
and it was so good. It was so good.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the hell was going through your head when you saw that broom on the floor and you knew that both of you had to jump over it? What was going through your mind? What
You
was happening
know,
then?
oh man, you know, am I gonna be able to jump over this thing without my ankle breaking? You know, did I put a did I should I have put my knee brace on earlier? You
Hey,
know, it's something that's what I was thinking about. That's what I was thinking about. Like I
hey,
don't
you
want to
cleared it
fall,
easily
and
though.
you know,
Y'all
I didn't
both
want to
cleared it
fall.
easily.
You know, yeah, man. So I was more so thinking about that, but things were just happening so fast,
Yeah.
you know, because we were trying to make up for a little bit of lost time, but no, man, it was all good after that.
Yeah.
Two things that you wish that you could have done that you did not do.
Ooh,
Oh man,
I got one for that.
oh
If you don't say
man.
it. If you don't say
Two
it.
things. Two things. I mean, I think you know one of
That
the
you
things
wish
that
you could have done that you
mhm.
did not do.
Man, one of them was I wish that the three of us would have shared time
Yep.
and space together,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
took
yeah.
took some
Yeah.
photos, and
That was
and
mine.
had
Yeah.
some footage.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
that was a huge miss. And if it was one thing I could do to rewind time,
Yeah.
I would have done that immediately. And I
Mm.
think the other piece was it just went so fast. I wish we had like
Oof.
2 more hours. It was like
Mm.
right when it was like at its peak, and it was like it was time to go. And I
Yeah.
Mhm.
really wish
Yeah.
that I had more time to spend with some people that I didn't get an opportunity to spend time with on Friday and Saturday, like you, Quest. I wish I could have hung out with you more, and I wish
Mhm.
I could have hung out with a couple of other people. Like I had people that flew in from California, and they just came in for the wedding, you know. And it was like I didn't really get to spend time with
Oh
them,
shoot.
and
We lost
I
them,
wish
huh?
I just wish we had more time. You know, I just
Yeah.
wish
Yeah, yeah,
we had
yeah.
a little more time to spend with
Yeah.
folks, uh, to do some of it, just to catch up.
Yeah, so Chris, I want to know what was your favorite moment?
Okay. All right. Well, you got to answer too, but I would say for me, there kind of two things that it's was hard for me to come down to one. One of them is about Quest. One of them is about Jay. I'm gonna speak to Jay's first. So Jay, and it started at the rehearsal. Um, but especially in the wake of having done these episodes we did about fatherhood and that kind of thing. So knowing a lot about now, at least a lot about your father's story, your and your father's story, that journey y'all have had together and the history behind it. When I
Yeah.
then saw him come into the space, into the art center, and then was about to do things, I was like, wow, like this is so cool. How's this going to be? So during the rehearsal, and again, you all did it when we got there to the wedding too, but to see the two of you all together and to
Mm-hmm.
see how powerful genes are. He
Yeah.
what is it? James, you are the father. You know what I mean? Like it's so
Yes.
obvious that is
You
your dad.
are.
It's
You
so
are
obvious. So
the father.
just to see it and then see how powerful the genes are, but then to watch the two of you all walking down, you like walk the same, everything just had y'all were in sync.
Yeah,
And then you get to the front
yeah,
and face one another and, got your little powwow, like
Yeah.
said a couple things to one another, and you had an
Yeah.
embrace and he
Yeah.
gave you the kiss. Like it was such a
It
great
was so
moment for
good.
me.
Yeah.
At
It
the
was so good.
rehearsal, I found myself choking up. I'm standing up there like, like as I'm watching it. So when it happened at the wedding, it was a little
yes.
bit easier for me to watch it. I could just have more fun with it. But that was a moment. And then the second actually is at the reception. The what's funny about this is people, when this gets back to the podcast, people were amazed to hear that the three of us had never been in a room together. They were amazed to hear
Yes.
that Quest and I had never met. Like Quest and I come
Yeah.
to this through Jay,
Yeah.
but we had never met before. And people were like, "Are you serious? Like you got such great chemistry. I can't believe y'all ever met." It's like, no, we haven't. So I've gotten to know Quest virtually, both here and watching his stories on the different platforms. And I know that that man is a turn up wherever he goes. But to
Yeah.
experience it, to see it with my own two eyes, to see it with my
Yeah.
own two eyes and experience it, that man is a vibe that you
I
can't deny.
appreciate you.
So to just quickly talk about this
Undeniable.
then, I got this bad back, my low back, all them years of basketball, like really bothered me. And so we were standing up so much. And especially when you're standing up there in the front, you one of the grooms when you're
Yeah.
standing, I need to kind of move side to side, get some mobility in that low back. I can't do that when I'm up there. So I'm standing there straight as a board, holding it in all kind of pain, like, ah. We get into the reception, like later into it, and all the dances going on. I just finished eating, I was like walking my way through to go somewhere else. This man, Quest, comes up to me. He finds me. He sees me from across the dance floor, comes up to me,
That's right.
and he's doing his thing. He starts grooving. My body, my back felt great for about 15 seconds. I was like, I don't know what he did, but I was able to move like
Yeah.
easily, just in his
Oh
presence.
my
And
gosh.
then he leaves me and I see him go. And as he went, wherever he was, even if people weren't facing him, it just got instantly liver
Man.
as he was walking through.
Man.
It
Yeah.
was amazing, man. It really
It
Man.
was.
was
And I had
amazing.
to
It was
tell him about that
absolutely
later.
amazing.
Yeah. So he was with
Man.
Filet and I was talking to him and Filet afterwards. I was like, yeah, I see this. This is how that goes. And he said this thing to me. I'm never gonna forget because I've heard him say it before, but again, when he's looking you in the eye in person and saying it, you
Mm.
feel in a different way. He was like, man, I so appreciate that you said it. He was like, I'm here so that people can have fun. Like I want
That's
people to
right.
have fun in life. I want them to
That's
enjoy
right,
life,
bro.
to live it to its fullest and be present in that moment. And
Yeah,
he's
man.
looking at me and it's like, it's this craze, like he's in this trance, but that is his space. Like he was so in his element
Yeah.
in a way that I felt honored just to be there to see that happen, man. So that was cool.
Appreciate
Mac,
you.
I
Appreciate
have
Yeah.
to,
you.
can I please piggyback off of that? Because it was
Please
such
do.
a
Yeah.
profound moment. It was so
Man.
profound. I remember being out there and all I did, because he was right next to me like the whole time I was on the dance
Yeah.
floor. And all I kept hearing was, let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I was like, okay, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The next thing I'm up here
Right. You
dancing
can't
like
fight
I
it.
ain't dancing 30, 40
You
years.
can't fight
I'm
it.
like,
You
this
cannot
dude
fight it.
is the turn up whisperer. And I just
Yes.
saw him and I'm like, man,
Wow.
I've never seen anything like it before. And I just like, this is his superpower. And we gonna
Yes.
do
Man,
whatever we
appreciate
gotta
you.
do to get him to pour into that even more so than he
Yeah.
already does. Cause that
Mhm.
thing is serious. And I
Man,
couldn't help
I
but
I
keep talking
appreciate
about
that.
it. I was laughing. I found myself the next day just walking around the hotel, just laughing, giggling, like, oh my gosh, like this cat, man.
Yeah.
This cat had me
He is
turning
a
up.
turn up. He is a turn up, man.
It's a full vibe, man. Full vibes.
They
Yeah.
had started playing the music early when we got into the little reception hall, and Falea looked at me and she was like, "Go ahead." she hit me with that, "Go ahead," and I was just like, "I'm going then. If we,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going. We gonna get it started then, because
Yeah.
Yeah.
people wanted to be there. They wanted to be there for you. They wanted to
Yeah.
show you how much they loved you,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I could sense everybody just wanted to have they just wanted to have a good time. They wanted to escape whatever it is we going to on Monday. Everybody
Yeah.
knew that it was Sunday night, and you know
Yeah.
the Sunday Monday situation.
Yeah.
So all them folks that was there
Yeah.
trying to think about Monday, I was like,
Yeah.
we
Not
not thinking
today.
about no Monday today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We here and we are present with them. We are going to celebrate them
Yes, sir.
to the fullest
Yeah.
extent, and we are going to have an amazing time, and you going to have an amazing time,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure.
Yeah.
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 Man,
Yeah.
And
it
that's
was
credit to the
bro.
people. That's credit to
Hey.
the that's credit to the two of y'all, meaning
Yeah.
Jay and Sheeta, for the people you have in your lives to be able
Yes.
to bring
Oh,
that
man.
group together, to have a special
Man.
moment as it was. And, I mean, you were
Man.
saying, men, we get most vulnerable at these 3 different times, one of those being weddings. That's
Yeah.
true, but not every
Yeah.
wedding allows you to open up the way that y'all's did.
That's true.
I've been to a bunch
Yeah.
of weddings
true.
where it's
That's
cool
true.
and you feel a little bit more vulnerable and a little bit more open. But what you all were able to create there, like you mentioned the word portal a little bit earlier. You really did
Yeah.
open up a portal to allow something
Mhm.
very pure to just
Yeah.
exist in
Mhm.
that space, and everybody was plugging into it, man. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Man,
It was
I have to
spiritual.
it was so I have
Spiritual.
to share this one thing that was so profound. You're right. It was a spiritual piece. And I talked about the wedding was really the entire weekend. But we had the cigar bar party Friday night that went till like 11 or so, 11:30. And then we had the sunrise service where people had to show up at 5 a.m. But we were supposed to meet
Mm.
we were supposed to meet up in the hotel lobby at 3:30 to convoy out to go to this 63rd Street
Woof.
beach situation, right? So
Yes.
I'm in
Yeah.
the Uber with my boy Marcus from Germany. He didn't had a good time. I could barely understand what he was saying, right? So I'm like, all right, text me, let me know you made it to the crib. He's like, I'm gonna be there. I'm coming to service. So I'm like, all right, set the alarm for like 3 hours to pass out. I wake up at 4:15. I'm supposed to meet people in the lobby at 3:30. I wake up like, oh my God. Next thing I know, I'm texting people just like they went straight to the beach. We're not even there yet. We get there at 5. Marcus finds a seat on the beach. It's like 2,000 people on this beach.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
He at 5 in the morning, he finds my mom,
Wow.
my nieces, my sister, and his family sit with them and
Wow.
have service with them. We
Wow.
like,
Wow.
Wow.
out of all
Wow.
these people,
Wow.
Yeah.
you
That's so cool.
found my family, right?
Wow.
And then we get there right at
Wow.
5 o'clock. All these people just start coming and they find us and sit with us. And it was just
Wow.
like, whoa, man.
Yeah.
So it
Oh,
was just throughout the whole weekend, God was like, I'm here, y'all. I'm here.
wow.
That's a moment.
And so I just had to share that, man. It was a very spiritual connection
Yeah.
that we had
Gosh.
with multiple people throughout the course of the weekend that was just so profound.
It
And I will
carried over,
never
man.
forget.
It carried over.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It carried over. It
It
was in
so
that place
good.
for that whole ceremony.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
feel the ancestors there. You could feel it. And if you couldn't feel it,
Yes.
something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you could feel it in there. Even in the reception, like I said, even in the
Yeah.
reception, you could feel the ancestors there. You could feel them there. And I like Chris said, I appreciate y'all for that. Because
Yeah.
a lot of us don't understand that element. A lot of us don't bring
Yeah.
that energy. A lot of us don't know how to curate that energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
point.
So
Very good
so
Yeah.
I just to again to what Chris says, it shows who y'all are. It shows
Yeah.
y'all's values and what y'all hold close, and the in the people that were there and how things went. It was fantastic.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Amazing.
Man. So good.
Amazing.
So good. Well, I can't
Wow.
thank y'all enough for allowing us
Yeah.
to walk through this journey together. We could go
Yes,
on and
yes.
on and on about the wedding because it has so many more elements and pieces to it. But I thank y'all for allowing us to put this phase and stamp in my life on this platform, on our platform that we share together, and to just talk through some of those pieces, that Black men don't get a chance to actually talk to and through. And we've
Mhm.
talked to some things and we've gone through some things to get to where we are. And I just really
Mm,
appreciate you all allowing me to share in this way. So thank y'all, man.
yes.
For
Yeah.
real, for real.
That
From the
Thank
was
bottom of my
y'all.
amazing.
heart.
That
Thank
was
Thank
y'all.
you,
amazing.
Jay. Thank you,
Thank you,
Chris.
Yeah,
Jay.
Chris,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
great
man.
meeting you in person, my brother.
Same. Say, I just wish we had
Oh
more time.
Yes,
We're gonna make
man.
man.
that happen. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Yeah,
we
give
are.
man.
We
one real
are.
quick shout out. I got to give one real quick shout out to my mom. Ma, it was
Yeah.
Hey.
great being at home. I got to be there for 5 days and get to
Mm-hmm.
hang out. Just the two of us
Yeah.
had some time in ways that we have not in a long time. It was special for me.
Come
The
on.
guys gave me the freedom to kind of leave them when I needed to make sure I got to spend some time with you. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah.
I got to come home and feel like a son again, and that was good.
Yeah.
That was really good. So I love you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you for that.
That's what's up.
Hey, I'm gonna
That's
do the
what's up.
same thing. Special shouts out to my mother, because I did come home and I got a chance to spend a couple of days with her, and also to my uncle. Y'all know that I love my uncle.
Oh,
His birthday was actually on the same day of the wedding, so we
Get
went and we
oh,
out.
celebrated him on the Saturday before. We had a big beach cookout picnic, and
wow.
a lot
Nice.
of our family came and had a great job. My aunt's mother came and she's 90 years old, so
Wow.
it was
Wow.
a good opportunity to be with family while I was home in Chicago as well. So
Yes. Yes.
thanks to
So
all of
good.
y'all, and happy birthday, Uncle Steve. Happy
Mm,
birthday.
That's what's up.
love it. Love it.
Oh man. All right, y'all. Well, that wraps up the before I do, and we did it. So
Yeah,
He
he
did
we're
it.
gonna
did.
carry
Yeah, he
He
did.
did it.
we did it. We
It was
did it, y'all.
amazing.
We did it. And so we're gonna catch y'all on the next one. See y'all soon. It's about to get real, real fun, y'all. So let's do this. See y'all on the
Yes,
next one.
sir.
Peace.
Peace.
Well, there you have it. Another epic episode of 4050 Social Club, and we hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. Subscribe on YouTube, click that button below. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all social media platforms. We are here to help Black men transition through the most impressionable years of your life, your 40s and 50s. Don't feel as though you're out here alone. We're here with you to share our stories and our journey. So let's get to it, y'all. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode. And until then, be well, friends. Peace.